Traders, how are you? Marcello, founder of the Day Trading Academy, co-founder of Speed Up Trader, where you guys can come and apply to trade funded accounts instead of your own accounts in the futures and Forex markets. Today we're going to be talking about the best job in the world. Now it's super interesting to think the times that we're in and the simple thought process of not being able to even consider the kind of world we're living in right now. Imagine a time where you had a job but you couldn't get paid for it. Imagine a time where you had a business but you can't make any money. Imagine a time where you're stuck in your house because of a pandemic. Imagine a time when, we haven't had a war, most of us. I'm a student of history, so I read a lot of articles and study things and talk to people. But imagine if a war breaks out because of what's going on right now. You have to be able to have your freedom, not only when it comes to, time freedom and location freedom and all that stuff, but you have to be able to live on your own terms, so to speak. And I think right now, where entrepreneurship was something that was kind of popular, you guys can see that something like trading is really a lot more advantageous even to owning your own business, due to the fact that even now, if you owned a business, you wouldn't be able to run it. So remember, trading is something that you have to learn. It's not like you're going to buy a course and be a million overnight. But right now, trading would give you the ability to be able to make money as long as you learn it properly, in my opinion. But you can also be anywhere in the world right now too. All the people that I see in the news about being stuck in Peru and all this stuff, all you need is internet, and they haven't shut down the internet yet. So I think this is super interesting time to most people, I think, have also talked to me about how they don't have time to be able to learn how to day trade. And I think now there's absolutely zero excuse. If you don't have any money, you can learn for free, but obviously it's going to take you a lot more time because having a mentor takes you, leaps and bounds in terms of being able to learn something. But I just think that it's amazing right now what's happening in the world. The whole world is practically in quarantine. The world economy has literally collapsed because everything has been shut. And many of you either have businesses or jobs or even retirements. A lot of you guys have taken a 30-40% hit in your retirement account. So I think it's very advantageous to be able to learn how the economy works or how investing works, because you will be able to live through this time unless they close the exchange, which I think if they do close the exchange at the end of the day, we have a lot more problems, a lot more things to be able to worry about if that happens. But notice the entire world has shut down and the markets stay open, right? That's one of the last things that actually stops functioning, so to speak. Now in the Philippines, I know some of the traders that we have out in the Philippines, they have actually stopped the exchange in the Philippines. But the United States, being the biggest market in the world, being the financial hub of the world, I don't think that they're going to just close the markets overnight. So it's just something to think about, because I think, as I told you before, the next 10 years are going to be very challenging. The next 10 years are not going to be fun at all. We're going to have economic problems. I mentioned this in the recap. If you guys don't see the recap, I do every day. Every week, I should say. And remember, I'm putting all the videos now in podcast. You guys can listen to them as well. We've had, in the last 2 decades, this is the third now major jolt to the economic system. And when things get bad, which notice how bad things are right now with the pandemic, you have to be able to live somehow, right? And if you don't have extra money to be able to pay your mortgage or buy food, obviously that's a big problem. So that's one of the reasons why I love trading, because it gives you the ultimate amount of freedom when it comes to not only, we can talk about the money that you can make when you do it correctly, right? You can also lose a lot of money. The freedom to be able to work wherever because you only need an internet connection. But the ultimate freedom to be able to live through these tough times as well, because at the end of the day, when something like this happens and you can't go out, they're not shutting off the internet, and if they do, we got much bigger problems to talk about. So it's something to consider. you know, if you guys are watching this video, have gotten this far, I would definitely recommend you guys start with stocks or futures. I don't recommend Forex or binary options or CFDs for newer traders, even though I think I am changing my mind on CFDs due to the fact that I've learned quite a bit by doing the Forex funding. But it's been, I've learned an amazing, I've had a lifetime now pretty much in the financial markets. It's been almost 19 years. And I've been on every edge of the spectrum when it comes to taking out $25,000 in student loans and losing it in a month, trying to learn this business and teaching and trying to fund traders, and now having a, you know, a large scale funding company. But it's something that you can learn, but it's not as easy as everybody says it's going to be. And I think now most of you guys have the time and the time not only to learn this, but the time to reflect about kind of what direction the world is headed in. Because if you're relying on a job or even now a business, notice what the world has gone through now. And I don't think that you can really rely on quote unquote a business anymore due to the fact that look at how they just shut everything down from literally 30 days ago. Right, I'm recording this video. Let me look at the date here on the phone. I can't see on the phone, but if I'm not mistaken, I think today's the 23rd of March, 23rd of February, everything was fine. Just literally from one day to the next. So it's something that I've talked about for a while. It's hopefully something that you guys will kind of take up, you know, however you guys want to do it. You don't really need a lot of money to be able to start how to do this. You can start learning 100% for free with the platforms out there. They have a technology called Market Replay, a lot of these platforms where you can replay the market as if it was live. You know, a lot of traders that had full-time job or a family, they actually use that quite a bit to be able to practice this at night, or even, you know, you can practice on Saturday and Sunday. So it's super important to be able to understand that the opportunity is there. You guys just have to put the time in to be able to go ahead and learn how to do this. So it's I just wanted to do this video kind of reflecting on the times that we live in, kind of reflecting on where things are going to go, because I've talked about, I think you've seen in some of the videos, especially last year in the recaps, where I've talked about a potential Black Swan event, you know, and just like I mentioned this a moment ago, what if we went to war tomorrow against Iran or North Korea or whoever, and China gets involved and it's a world war? I just think these kind of things are the things that we need to think of now. And if you guys had something that you could rely on yourself to be able to make money, rather than relying on an employer or relying on your own business, you would be able to live very good in these times. And you know, even if most places in the world now have internet, I think about 10 years ago, I've been traveling around the world now, I think it's been 15 years, no, a little bit less, I think like 12, 13 years. But now the internet really is no excuse, because most places have internet, especially in the US, right? If you guys want to go get a house in the middle of nowhere when the zombies come and things like that. So I just wanted to do this video to talk about that, just a little bit of a rant, why I think trading is still the best job in the world, because you would still be able to do it during this pandemic. You know, right now Trump is talking about, not only Trump, but the government, the US government on both sides is talking about anywhere between a $1.5 trillion to $3-4 trillion aid package stimulus. We already have about $23 trillion in debt. The size of the economy, you know, ballpark is about 21 trillion or so. So we're literally going to take out 10% of the debt that we already have, 10% of the size of the economy, and literally inject it into the economy. And in my opinion, it's not really going to work because everything is shut down, right? We have the self-imposed quarantines, all businesses are shut down. So it's just something to think about, because I started in this business years ago for that exact reason, to be able to have your freedom. It's not easy, right? One of the things that we always say is it's the hardest way to make money the easy way. It's something that you have to learn. It's not from one day to the next. And it is challenging because every day you have to perform. It's like being a professional athlete. So it's important to be able to understand that too, because even though you can make a lot of money in the market, you can lose a lot of money as well. So that's why you have to do the right thing and make the right decisions, because otherwise you're not going to last very long, because most of us, especially now, don't have deep pockets to be able to withstand that. So just wanted to do this rant. Let me know if you guys have any questions. # Ask Marcello, and I'll talk to you soon.